Order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please call the roll. Ms. Bannister. Here. Mr. Spear.
Here.
Mr. Howell.
I am here.
Mr. Former.
I'm here.
Mr. Filiak. Here. Mr. Ott. Ms. Versinko.
Here.
Mr. Shermer.
Here.
Mr. Rice.
Here.
Dr. Ott said he's having some technical issues getting in.
Remember, Mr. Ott might just be in on the Zoom meeting through the Chromebook.
No, I believe she got a text from him that he's trying to log in through a link.
Right, yeah. His link is saying it starts. He must have voted wrong link. It's saying it starts at 6. Will you make sure the public link is correct? Because I guess there's some public having trouble.
Were you copied on that? Although a fair number of people are in.
Yeah. There's not. It should be on the. He's right there. It's on the website, right?
Yeah, the link to this Zoom session is also posted on the school website.
Perfect.
You have to click over on the left, on the right side where it says 01/03/2022 board meeting Zoom link. The middle part doesn't come up right. They have to click over on that. You have to click on this box over here.
So you use the right navigation panel.
Yes,
Tends to be the link that's working.
that's why we teach cosmetology and not technology. It's like putting it.
All right. I'm going to read the notice of meeting. The Upper Lux County Technical Schools Joint Operating Committee shall conduct a special meeting for the purpose to consider a notice of charges for dismissal regarding employee number SW60045 and any other business brought before the board. The meeting will be held at 5:30 on Monday, January 3rd in the JOC Board Conference Room of Upper Lux County Technical School, 3115 Ridge Road, Percy, PA 18944, or via Zoom. I'm also going to announce that we had an executive session for personnel and legal matters on December 23rd, 2021 and January 2nd, 2022. And that brings us to public comment. Is there any in-person public comment? Okay. Is there public comment online?
I don't see anything in the chat yet.
Anyone online would like to make a public comment, please just make a note in the chat so we know that you're looking to comment. see any comments. If you're having trouble finding the chat, you can just unmute and start speaking. I don't want to miss anyone. Okay. Then I will make a motion to approve the resolution under item 6.
Second.
Questions or comments?
Just so the minutes are clear, the blanks at the bottom would be today's date.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes 9-0. And that brings us back to public comment.
It's stated in the chat that Diana Penn wants to make a statement. I don't know if she's here. I'm not sure I see her in the list of participants.
She is here in the room.
Okay. All right, well, we actually have 2 on the sign-in sheet now, so let me just go in order here. First, we have Brian Moser.
Just want to thank you for your vote. Appreciate it. Hopefully the school can move forward. There's been a lot of damage done to this school. It's not completely all fixed yet. So you're looking around what has happened here, what this person has brought in, and how to get it cleaned up and get it fixed. So, I mean, I thank you for what you've done now. You've taken a huge step in the right direction. And I care about this school, and I'm glad to see you guys do as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Diana Penn.
I'm going to request 5 minutes. Is that okay?
You need 5 minutes to speak?
Just to read what's on here? Yeah. I'll read as quickly as possible. I've read your statement of charges and notice of hearing referring to tonight's meeting. The statement of charges does not include any reference on harassment and attempted intimidation of employees. And I am therefore including the following statement as a statement of my own personal experience. In 2020-2021 school year, started with welcoming back teachers face-to-face instruction during a worldwide pandemic. Still unvaccinated, I was concerned about contracting an unknown virus and transmitting it to my immunocompromised husband or mother. The previous school year was pure chaos. On March 13th, 2019, we were given 30 minutes to shut down our classrooms and didn't return until the following year. No one knew what to expect. Many of us were concerned because of the lack of leadership, organization, and communication we all had witnessed in administration. Instead of working with teachers to support us, we were pushed both mentally to both mental and physical exhaustion. I was directed to open the retail bakery outlet in the middle of the pandemic. The administration, driven by Mr. Suida, was relentless, sending emails, scheduling meetings, pushing hard for a plan, but never offering support or solutions. I felt unsafe emotionally and physically. I was having panic attacks during class and in my car before work. I consulted with my doctor, followed their advice, and used sick time I had accrued in my many years at UBCTS. When I returned to work in January, the push to open the outlet continued. In addition to catching up on the work I had missed while I was on medical leave. I had the outlet opened in less than 3 weeks from my return. In addition to the push, these other things occurred under the direction of Mr. Studa. The facilitator responsible to support students with IEPs was pulled from my class and placed in culinary while there were already 2 full-time culinary instructors working there. I was left to work alone many days without any support for students with IEPs. When I emailed my supervisor and requested support, I received no response. I seldom received a facilitator replacement. When I finally did receive a replacement, it was an elderly cafeteria employee. On March 31st, minutes before Easter break, I was advised by Mr. Suida that the baking program was in consideration of being merged with the culinary program. I was told that my position as a baking instructor would be eliminated when the program closed. I requested guidance twice on how I could possibly stay at UBCTS and keep my job. but received no guidance from my supervisor or Mr. Sweda. The day of the program merger meeting, April 6th, several things occurred. Mr. Sweda and my supervisor sat in the baking classroom for the entire PM session. Also, I was pressured into signing a disciplinary statement by another administrator, which was investigated and never closed. Later that day, I was brought into a disciplinary meeting regarding those false allegations. I believe this was blatant intimidation and targeting. The proposed program merger was tabled by the board, thankfully. On the evening of April 28th, I received an email regarding a disciplinary meeting the following day. As a result of that meeting, I was put on paid leave for 5 days. I was told to leave my keys and my laptop, and I was escorted off the premises. It was humiliating. I was demoralized and dehumanized. I was recalled to work to attend a Laudermill hearing, which was canceled and rescheduled and eventually also never closed. In addition to the financial charges that can be calculated, allegedly, gas, pavers, wood stolen, that's quantifiable. But what about the invaluable things that have been lost and taken from us? Can you imagine coming to work every day and being targeted by the most powerful person in the building? Do you know what it's like to call and email a board member for help and have it appear that no action had been taken? Do you know what it's like to have to explain to my children that I was suspended, yet I had no clear idea what I had done to deserve this humiliating suspension? I still jump every time someone opens my classroom door electronically. My heart and mind race, worried that I could be accused of still doing something wrong. I firmly believe Mr. Sweda's actions were an attempt to intimidate and coerce me into leaving so he could replace me with another chosen person. I'm sharing my experience because of the ruins Mr. Sweda left behind that we are all left to deal with. Gasoline and wood and pavers can be replaced. People can say, those were foolish, egotistical, poor decisions. But what about the planned, strategic, disgusting, unprofessional targeting, bullying and intimidation? I promise you, I was not the only one. I am still dealing with second, third, and fourth year students upset and angry and confused over why I left. Just last week, they shared with me that they were angry, sad, confused, upset, and felt abandoned. No one told them anything except Mr. Gale, who said, Chef was taking a well-deserved rest. I want people to know this, to be remembered, so that his story doesn't happen again. His actions impacted our school's reputation, the staff, the many people that resigned, the taxpayers, but most of all, our students. His actions hurt our kids. If you forget any other details about tonight, please never forget that fact. I'll leave the paper copy.
Is there anyone else in person who would like to make a comment?
I'm just wondering, would any of this have happened if that letter hadn't been written by Bill Gerhard when he resigned? It seemed to be the catalyst that triggered this whole avalanche. And would anybody have addressed these issues if that hadn't been emailed to you?
Since this is an ongoing process, we really can't speak to how and why. There is still going to be further actions, further discussions.
We can't comment on an open personnel matter, but I appreciate your comment. Are there any comments online? If there are, please note it in the chat that you would like to speak, or if you aren't sure how to do that, you can unmute and start speaking. Sorry, I don't see you.
Before we move to, I just want to note for the minutes, the content of the email I sent to the JOC earlier to acknowledge that Mr. Sweeney, who is counsel for Mr. Sweda, has objected to the process we use tonight. He is aware of our ruling on this. We'll move on without it, but I just wanted to make sure the minutes reflect that he has objected to the process.
Okay, the next regular JOC board meeting is scheduled for January 20th, 2022 at 8 PM in the JOC boardroom, number 205. Are there any JOC concerns? Okay, then I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we are adjourned.